The Houston Rockets has been looking great this season as they are now 14-6 on the season and are now second in the West behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. This young Houston Rockets squad are currently first in the league in rebounds per game. They're also third in opposing points per game, holding their opponents to about 105.9 points per game. That's some good defense there, and the reason this team's defense is so good is because young players like Alperen Thompson. In last night's game against the 76ers, Alperen Thompson had got the ball stolen by Kelly Oubre, but before Kelly could even get half court, Alperen Thompson used his 7'2" wingspan to just steal the ball right back. And this team loves to run and generate buckets off their opponent's turnovers. And their elite defense is what allows them to get on the break, turn defense into offense. It's always good when you can turn defense into offense. It's so easy and it makes the game flow better for you. And the Rockets got other great defenders like Dillon Brooks being one of them, as he's a good vet for the young guys. He also got that dog in him. You know what I'm saying? Every team need that player that got that dog in him, that enforcer, that player that's not scared to get attacked to defend his teammates or whatnot. I love Dillon Brooks. I love his vibe. He's like the villain of the league, and I love it. Walking through people interviews and stuff like that. Like, Dillon Brooks is pure comedy. Dillon Brooks is also shooting very well from the 3 this season. Nobody's talking about it, man. He's shooting 37.6% from the 3, nearly 40% from the 3 for the Rockets, man. And we got a nice 3-and-D guy like that on the team. It only helps you out. Every team can use a 3-and-D guy on their squad. Every championship team dang near had an elite 3-and-D guy on their team somewhere. So Dillon Brooks being that for the Houston Rockets is great to see. Another great young defender to point out is Tari Eason. Last night's game against the 76ers was Eason's first game without at least 2 steals, as he's averaged 2.1 steals per game. Tari Eason is an elite defender. If you don't know about him, look him up. That boy has 6 steals in his first game this season, man. Now, even though VanVleet has had a tough season, shooting 38.9% from the field and also shooting 32.4% from the 3, I still like Fred on this team, as he's also been a good vet for this young team. A lot of people forget that Fred VanVleet got a chip under his belt and can really hoop when he's on. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Fred VanVleet is going through a little slump right now as far as shooting the ball, finding where he want to be on the floor. But I think he's going to figure it out. He shot 38% from the 3 last season with the Rockets. He's going to figure out his 3-point shot. He's a vet in this league. He know how to play the game. He played the game the right way. I think he's like the perfect point guard to have on this team, to be honest. He's a good leader. He know how to win, like I said. So, yeah, I like Fred VanVleet on this team. I also like to bring up my favorite Rocket, Alperen Sengun. In their game against the Minnesota Timberwolves, he made the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert, look like a baby down low. And he even hit the 2 small celly on him, man. That went viral. I'm like, oh my gosh, Sengun is officially... He's finna start becoming one of my favorite centers in the league. Like, he's almost like a little baby Jokic. A lot of compare. That's his comp. That's his NBA comp. Like, if it was any other player to compare him to, is Jokic. Like, he's a poor man Jokic, man. He can do pretty much everything Jokic can do, just at a lesser level. We all know that Jokic got like 4 or 5 years on Sengun, so that's only right. I'm pretty sure when Sengun get to around Jokic's age, he'll be playing around the same way. Sengun got a lot of talent, man. I've been seeing him play since he's been drafted with the Rockets, and he's always reminded me of Jokic, but he's starting to get better with it. Like, the Rockets could put him at the top of the key, and he can run plays for, you know, Jaylen Green or Fred or Jabari Smith. Like, he's just good at playmaking. He's also good at just finding Alperen Thompson cutting back door. A lot of times you see Alperen Thompson cutting back door, and Sengun is always finding them there. So that 2-man game with Jaylen Green and Alperen Sengun is also good. He's just good at playing that hub role. He can, you know, he could be that hub. He can get the ball, do handoff, set you a screen, roll to the basket. But another thing I want to point out about Sengun is in last night's game against Philly, they went to overtime, and Sengun was very, very vital in overtime down low, as he literally put the game away, scoring 3 straight buckets down low. I don't know why the Sixers decided to go with a small ball lineup. They had the new guy that they just signed playing the center. I don't know how to say his name. I don't know. It started with Y. I forgot how to say his name, I'm not going to lie. But they took Drummond out, and they had a small ball lineup out there, the Sixers, and Sengun took advantage of that. He's smart, you know what I'm saying? He seen that they was playing small ball, and he was the primary option in OT. And he put the game away, like I said, with them 3 straight buckets down low. And last but not least, we got to talk about Jaylen Green's play last night, as he went off for 41 points, 7 rebounds, and he also hit 4 threes. Jaylen Green's athleticism is what makes him such a threat on the court, as last night in the first quarter, he got an impressive block on Tyrese Maxey that I seen. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, Jaylen Green can get up, and that can help him in a lot of ways. And at the basket, and like I just said, just defending, getting blocks, chase down blocks, whatever. Jaylen Green got athleticism, and it's crazy. He's also good at just playing off the ball for either Sengun or for VanVleet when they're, whenever they're creating or shot creating or getting their buckets. He can just literally spot up, and he can still get his buckets. He can still get his shine. You know what I'm saying? He's a great three-point shooter. So Jaylen Green is very good at just, playing off the ball, catching and shooting. You know what I'm saying? He can shoot the ball. There's nothing he can't do on the floor. Like, this is a perfect guy to build around with Sengun. 23 years old, like I said, athletic. There's nothing on the floor he can't do. I mean, obviously, there's holes in his defense. He is, 6'2", but offensively, there's not a hole in Jaylen Green's game. I love everything about Jaylen Green, and he's been hooping. You know what I'm saying? He's been hooping. He shows up for the Rockets when he needs to. And we talk about, like, #1 scoring option. That's definitely Jaylen Green on this team. Like, Sengun is the best overall player, in my opinion, on this team. Like, Sengun is the best overall player on this Rockets team. But Jaylen Green is for sure that #1 scoring option. Like, if there was, like, we need somebody to go for 40 tonight against Tyrese Maxey, that's Jaylen Green. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sengun can do that. But I'd rather see Sengun go for like 20, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. Like, he can do that. Like, Sengun had triple-double the other night, and I'd rather have Sengun go off for a triple-double and let Jaylen Green go off. You know what I'm saying? Because when Sengun is creating for others, that only helps these young guys get their spark. A lot of times you see that Sengun can spark these guys with how much he just play makes at the center position. So I like this young Rockets team, man. I feel like this Rockets team is putting everybody on notice right now. They're showing everybody in the league that they can win games. They're, like I said, second in the West. That's very impressive. And this team is, for sure right now, they're on track to make the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs last year, so, like, that's a jump, you know what I'm saying? And I like to see this Houston Rockets team just, level up over time. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they're for sure, if they're not in the playoffs, they're for sure in the play-in. You know what I'm saying? For sure. They're for sure either in the playoffs or in the play-in this year, in my opinion. I think they're going to be in the playoffs. They got the talent. You know what I'm saying? It's just time for them to start evolving and getting that, experience. So they got to get to the playoffs and just do the best they can. They might be a first-round exit depending on who they play, but you still got to get somewhere. And you got to, see where you, land in the playoffs. This team is playing very good. A lot of potential there. A lot of young potential. I just pointed out, like, 5 players in this video alone that got so much potential, and I left out so many guys like Cam Whitmore and so much more talent. Like Reed Shepherd, made a video about him in the summer leagues. Reed Shepherd got talent. Like, this Rockets team's they might have too much talent. Like, people might start saying it. Like, this team might have too much talent. They might need to move a couple of these young guys to make, the right necessary moves. Don't make no unnecessary moves, but they might need to make a necessary move. And then they also have a great coach in Ime Udoka. You know what I'm saying? He coached the Celtics very good before he got in trouble with them. Like, they got a very good coach. They got everything in line. Like, after the post-James Harden era, the Rockets did what they needed to do. They handled business. You cannot say the Rockets didn't handle business. As an organization, they did a very good job of handling that James Harden situation. Like, ever since James Harden left, it's been looking only but up for the Rockets. I also didn't even bring up Jabari Smith. Like, they got so much talent on this roster. Like, this team can legitimately make the playoffs and do something. So, you guys let me know down below in the comments how you feel about the Houston Rockets. How good do you think the Houston Rockets are? And do you think they can make the playoffs this year? I do think they can. Argue with me in the comments, please. But hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, please do me a big favor. Smash that like button and hit the subscribe button, because about 90% of my people that's watching, man, is not subscribed in it. It would be so great if you guys could just subscribe to the channel. It's completely free. But I'll see you guys in the next video. You dig?